We are stoked to have our next guest join us here at the Independent in San Francisco, Giia.
Hi.
Welcome back to our fine city.
Thank you.
How stoked are you right now? Because this is the first night of your first headlining tour at a place where you were like the opener or second?
First of three.
First of three. Bank played that show,
yes,
right?
Yes. I'm stoked. It's weird because I actually didn't. You play so many venues on tour. When I walked in, I was like, oh my God, I remember this place. And I set up in the support green room, which is funny because then they're like, what are you doing? Like, you get the bigger room now. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh, no way. You went to the wrong dressing room.
I just am still not used to this. I could not be more excited though.
I need you for real. San Francisco, put your hands up. You know we got it.
I actually remember seeing you when you were at the Great American Music Hall.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Crooked Colors.
Yes.
We had done a thing with Crooked Colors.
Okay.
And we were hanging out and we're, ready for them. And we're like, okay, let's check out the opener. And there you are. And I gotta say, the energy that you bring on stage is insane.
Thank you. That show, especially, was really, really fun. I love the Crooked Colors tour. That was my second tour. But yeah, I just kind of, after supporting for so long, you have to learn how to make sure that everyone in the audience is actually paying attention. So it's a lot of work, but now I feel like I'm more than primed for this headline run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you were really primed because I gotta go back to the time when you shared a stage with Steven Tyler.
Oh, wow.
And his daughter, Chelsea.
Yeah.
So it was you on one side, him in the middle, and
Yep.
his daughter on the other, and
I just got so lucky, I would say. His son, Taj, is actually was a good friend of mine. We haven't really stayed in touch, but he shared the same grade as me in high school. And yeah, Steven, I was in all of the bands in high school, and Steven wanted to come in and play a few songs with us, and just like the most epic moment.
And
so cool.
so obviously you have a long history of performing.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, moving from opera to this, did you see that path?
So it was interesting because I have such a passion for opera. I still do. I really respect the technique and the artistry behind it. But I wasn't going home and turning on Bach and being like, woo! It didn't get me really jacked up. And I always thought, wow, what if I could sing something that I'm listening to, on the radio? And I didn't ever think it was possible. I'm really happy because now I feel like I'm kind of paving the way for people who start classically trained to be able to take it to this level, because you can learn how to have your voice do both.
When you were in high school, what were you listening to? Because if you were performing De los Alamos Vengos Madre.
Oh, wow, you're so
stage,
specific, yes.
And then you go home, you finish and you go home and you party, you're not listening to Italian opera.
I was listening to hardcore dubstep, so.
Really?
Very opposite.
You were all about Skrillex and.
Exactly, and that way, it kind of got me in the mood of being like, oh my God, one day I want my show to just bang. I want 808s. I want people to come in and be like, oh my God, this is going off right now. I love that part of electronic music.
See, I'm a weird person. I could totally see you doing De los Alamos Vengos Madre.
Right?
To some weird dubstep.
A cool beat.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I really want the next couple phase of Giia to be, is to bring some of that into my actual music, because I think it could be epic.
Were your parents into opera? How did you get into actual opera?
It's so interesting. My parents aren't musical at all. They love to sing, but I can't say it came from them. I had an amazing teacher when I was really young, 5, and she was like, this person has talent, stick her in another music class, keep her going. So then I went to private lessons and it just never stopped.
5 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
You're 5 years
Literally,
old. You're like, oh!
And it's crazy because the opera portion of things obviously doesn't come until you're much older than that. But at least having that musical background forever was just kind of where I'm at today. So
your parents aren't musical, you said.
They aren't, but they're smart.
So what did they listen to? What was your musical upbringing like?
Van Morrison, 10,000 Maniacs, a lot of Natalie Merchant. I love my parents for that, because I feel like I have really great taste now because of them.
Yeah.
And they were always blasting music.
I know your real name, and I think is it Italian?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so I associate Italian with the opera, and I can just imagine your dad walking into the house like,
literally, I know, that's so funny,
and
because he
Emmy,
would love
please.
to hear that, because he's Italian, but we're technically more Irish, but he's always like, we're basically 100%. I'm like, Dad. So he would love to hear that, and he likes to claim he has a touch of that in him. I think it must have been a great grandparent or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a couple singles that you just released, right? You have Sidelines, you have Switch Off. That's
Yes.
the newest.
Switch Off is the most recent.
As music has evolved and styles have changed and whatnot, how did you put those together in terms of being a futurist or
Yeah, interesting. Well, Memba, they're my biggest collaborator. It's my fiance and my friend Will. My new fiance, that's the only reason why I pointed at my ring. That probably will wear off at
That's
some
for
point.
the camera guy, by the way.
I'm like-
Fiance.
Yeah, but so we're really close and they make some just incredible music, but we always try and push the boundaries. I always wanted Evan Giia to be really singable, not technically pop, but just melodies you can keep remembering on top of really dirty beats. Like, I want people to come and not be like, oh wow, this is such a nice pop song. I want them to be like, oh, this is sick. So I'm trying to meld that, like the hard aspect with the pretty aspect.
So really taking that history or early experience with dubstep.
Yeah, exactly, melding that. And then putting my voice over it, which has a prettier tone. I do now, though, I've learned a lot more tones. Like, I'm rapping sometimes, I'm shouting sometimes, and yeah, it's been fun to like explore the different tones of my voice.
The music that you make also is very appropriate for working out.
Yes.
And I've seen some of your stories on Instagram,
Yeah.
and you actually have a mix move on YouTube, the EP.
Yeah, so I made a small little mix. It's a 30-minute sweat mix, and it's actually my voice speaking over it, kind of pushing you through each song to get through the workout. I've always wanted to meld fitness and music, and I finally found a way, so.
Well, good. I have more music to work my core on. And,
Exactly. You should check out the longer playlist on Spotify, the Giia Sweat playlist. I use that every day when I work out. It's epic, and especially because working out sucks at the end of the day sometimes.
Yeah.
And you need like bangers to get you through.
Yeah.
So.
And your motivation with your speaking in there
Yes,
as well.
yeah.
Like,
I fell in love with coaching, and I just actually, this is a good segue to talk about my GM Move classes that I'm doing. Instead of meet and greets on tour, I was like, why don't I have my fans come work out with me?
Are you kidding?
So we're doing
Are you
cycling
kidding?
classes, which is so dope. At Cycle Bar, we teamed up with them. It's in 3 cities on my tour, and it's the day before the shows. My fans can come do pictures, meet and greet, and then I coach them through 45 minutes.
Wow.
So the
That-
next time I'm in town, I'll hopefully do a San Francisco one. You guys should come. It's gonna be pretty epic. It has all my sweat playlist in it, and I'm basically just screaming at everyone for 45
I
minutes.
was about to say, yeah, who's going to sit around for that?
Right?
Looking forward to the show.
Yeah.
Congrats on everything
Thank
and
you
best
so
of luck.
much. Appreciate it.
It's Evan Giia, and you're watching B-Sides on Air.